Have you ever felt lost, uncertain, or stuck, wondering why life doesn't seem to be unfolding the way you envisioned? Well, you're not alone, and today's video is about to change how you view those very moments. In this video, we dive deep into 7 life-changing affirmations that hold the power to transform your mindset and your life. Each of these affirmations will show you how to stop waiting for the world to change and how to create your own happiness, peace, and personal growth from within. Make sure to watch the entire video to fully absorb these powerful lessons. Trust me, this is the kind of wisdom that will leave you thinking long after the video ends. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights like these. Your journey to self-empowerment starts here. Imagine a weary traveler, lost and seeking answers, wandering through the vast unknown. One day, deep in the mountains, he encounters an ancient monk sitting quietly beneath a tree, radiating peace and wisdom. The traveler, desperate for guidance, asks, "Master, why do I suffer, even when I have done nothing wrong? Why does my heart feel heavy, even when life is calm?" With a gentle smile, the monk replies, "The answers you seek are not found in the world around you, but within your own heart. Let me share with you the 7 truths that will guide you to peace. 1. I am exactly where I need to be. The first affirmation we must embrace is simple yet profound. I am exactly where I need to be. This statement doesn't just hold truth, it holds power. It reminds us that no matter where we are in life, this moment is part of the path we are meant to walk. It teaches us to trust the journey, even when we feel lost or uncertain. The idea that we are where we need to be often contradicts our natural inclination to seek perfection or the ideal state. We are conditioned to think that if we're not where we imagined we should be, something is wrong. But what if this mindset is the root of our suffering? What if, instead of resisting where we are, we simply accepted that this moment, as imperfect as it may seem, is exactly where we are supposed to be? Take a moment to reflect. How often do you feel you should be doing something else, being somewhere else, or living a different life? These thoughts, while common, often create unnecessary tension within us. They lead us to believe that our current reality is flawed, incomplete, or unworthy. But the truth is, life unfolds at its own pace, and resisting that flow only brings inner conflict. I am exactly where I need to be. This simple affirmation is a declaration of self-trust. When we say this to ourselves, we are not passive observers of our circumstances, we are actively embracing where we are, understanding that every part of our journey holds meaning. Whether we're experiencing joy or facing challenges, this moment is here to teach us something essential about ourselves. When we accept that we are where we need to be, we stop fighting against life's currents. Instead, we learn to flow with them. There is power in acceptance. It doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement or growth, it means we stop resisting the present, realizing that every step is a necessary part of our development. Another important aspect of this affirmation is recognizing the growth that has already occurred. No step in your journey is wasted. Even the moments you might deem as failures or setbacks hold valuable lessons. Every challenge you've faced, every detour you've taken, has led you to this point in your life. You are not here by accident. Every decision, every experience has shaped you into the person you are today. Ask yourself, how many times have I thought I couldn't handle something, only to realize later that I was stronger than I believed? Reflecting on past experiences, you can see how much you've grown. The mistakes, the failures, and the hardships have all contributed to your wisdom and resilience. This journey wasn't just about getting somewhere, it was about becoming someone. When we remind ourselves that we are exactly where we need to be, we honor our journey. We acknowledge our growth, and we give ourselves credit for how far we've come, even if the road ahead still seems uncertain. The next powerful element of this affirmation is the rejection of comparison. We often measure our progress against others, thinking we should be further along or in a different place. But comparison only robs us of peace. Your journey is unique to you. The pace at which you move, the lessons you learn, and the direction in which you go are yours and yours alone. Instead of looking around and wondering why you're not where others are, ask yourself, how can I accept where I am right now? The people you admire didn't get to where they are overnight. They, too, had to walk their path, face their struggles, and overcome their obstacles. So why should you expect yourself to be any different? Saying, I am exactly where I need to be, also implies taking responsibility for your life. This is not about fate or passivity, it is about realizing that you have the power to shape your own journey. Yes, things may happen that are outside of your control, but how you respond, how you move forward, is always up to you. The more you embrace this idea, the more empowered you will feel. You stop waiting for the world to change or for some external event to shift. Instead, you realize that you hold the key to your peace and growth. The present moment is not just something to endure until the future arrives. It is an opportunity to make choices, to act with intention, and to create meaning from where you stand. Every day, remind yourself, I am exactly where I need to be. Let these words be more than just a mantra, let them be a declaration of your power to shape your reality. As you say them, feel the weight lift off your shoulders. Let go of the pressure to be anywhere other than where you are. Trust that the journey is unfolding as it should. By repeating this affirmation, you begin to cultivate self-awareness and acceptance. You start to see the beauty in each moment, whether it's one of peace or challenge. Your mind, once restless with doubt, begins to settle. You start to live more fully in the present, instead of wishing for a different time, a different place. Remember, you are exactly where you need to be because you are the one guiding yourself forward. Your actions, your decisions, and your mindset are all part of this journey. There is no wrong place, only the place where you are meant to learn, grow, and ultimately find peace. As you embrace this affirmation, you will begin to notice the changes in your life. The tension will fade, and in its place will be a deep, unwavering peace. You are in control of your path. And this moment, as it is exactly where you need to be. 2. I am stronger than I think. The second affirmation we must embrace is one that challenges the doubts we often hold about ourselves. I am stronger than I think. It's easy to forget our inner strength when faced with challenges, but this simple statement carries a deep and empowering truth. In times of struggle, we tend to underestimate our abilities. We listen to the voice inside that whispers, you can't do this. You're not strong enough. Yet, the truth is that you are far stronger than you realize. Strength doesn't always look like what we expect. We often think of strength as the ability to never show vulnerability, to power through hardships without faltering. But true strength is not about being unbreakable. It's about resilience. It's about how we endure and rise after the toughest of times. Think about the last time you faced a major challenge. You might have felt weak, overwhelmed, or even ready to give up. But look at you now. You survived. You made it through. That moment did not break you. It may have bent you, it may have tested you, but it did not defeat you. Your ability to stand up, to keep moving forward, even when you thought you couldn't, is your true strength. This is the strength of the mind and spirit. It's not about being invincible, it's about endurance, about finding the courage to keep going, even when you feel exhausted. This is where true strength resides, not in how you appear on the outside, but in how you show up for yourself, day after day. Often, the greatest enemy of strength is self-doubt. The mind loves to trick us into thinking that we're not capable, that we're not enough. But these thoughts are just that, thoughts. They do not reflect reality. Self-doubt is not a fact, it is a feeling, a fleeting emotion that passes if we allow it. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the power of self-doubt. When we face difficulties, we often question our abilities. I can't handle this. This is too hard for me. These thoughts are normal, but they don't define who you are. They only reflect a moment of fear, not the entirety of your life. Remind yourself, I have faced challenges before, and I have overcome them. I can handle this, too. One of the most powerful things you can do is stop listening to those negative thoughts and instead acknowledge the strength you've already demonstrated. You've survived every difficult situation in your life, no matter how it looked at the time, you made it through. And that's a testament to your resilience. Strength is not about the absence of weakness, it's about resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to rebuild, to continue moving forward when life pushes you down. It's like the tree that sways in the wind but does not break. The wind may bend it, but it doesn't snap. It adapts. Every challenge you've faced has shaped you. Every obstacle you've encountered has added to your inner fortitude. When you look back on your life, you'll see how far you've come. You're not the same person you were a year ago, 5 years ago, or even a month ago. Each challenge, each trial, has built you up in ways you might not even realize. Remember that even when you feel defeated, you're actually growing stronger. The most difficult times are the ones that teach you the most. These are the moments that refine you, that mold you into a wiser, more resilient person. Saying, I am stronger than I think, is not just an affirmation, it's a reminder to yourself. It's a call to stop listening to the voice of doubt and instead listen to the voice of strength that lies within you. The more you repeat this affirmation, the more you begin to believe it. The words we speak to ourselves have power. They shape our reality and our sense of self. Start your day with this simple affirmation, I am stronger than I think. Let it echo in your mind whenever you face a challenge. When life gets tough, remind yourself that you've already overcome so much, and you have the strength to handle whatever comes next. Consider the stories of people who have gone through unimaginable hardships. Take, for instance, Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust. Frankl's strength didn't come from physical endurance, but from his inner resilience. He found meaning in the most terrible circumstances and used that strength to help others do the same. Strength is about finding purpose in adversity. When you know that your suffering has meaning, it becomes easier to endure. Or think of a mother who raises children alone while juggling work and personal challenges. Her strength lies not in having an easy life, but in her ability to keep going, even when exhaustion sets in. She doesn't see herself as weak. Instead, she knows that her strength lies in her capacity to continue, despite everything. These stories, and countless others, show us that strength is not about never falling down, it's about getting up every time you do. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to keep moving forward. The key to unlocking your true strength is understanding that it has always been within you. It doesn't matter how many times you've doubted yourself in the past. What matters is what you choose to believe about yourself today. By affirming, I am stronger than I think, you are choosing to acknowledge the power you've had all along. You are reminding yourself that no matter how difficult life may seem, you have the strength to rise above it. You are not weak because you face challenges. You are strong because you keep going, despite them. And in this, you create a powerful shift in your life. Every time you face an obstacle, you don't see it as something that will defeat you. Instead, you see it as another opportunity to demonstrate the strength you've already cultivated. Strength is not about being invincible. It's about being resilient, being adaptable, and knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it. So, when you face difficulties, don't listen to the voice of doubt. Instead, remind yourself, I am stronger than I think. Let this affirmation be your guide. Let it empower you to move forward, no matter what. 3. I let go of what I cannot control. The third affirmation is one that speaks to the heart of inner peace, I let go of what I cannot control. This is one of the most liberating realizations we can come to. The need to control everything around us is a common trait of the human experience. We want to dictate the terms of our lives, shape every outcome, and prevent any discomfort. But the truth is, control is an illusion. The more we grasp for control, the more we lose. And in that loss, we lose peace. When we talk about control, we're not just referring to external circumstances, we're also talking about the mind. The desire to control our thoughts, our emotions, and other people can become a source of endless frustration. Life, by its very nature, is unpredictable. No matter how hard we try, there are things that will always be beyond our control. Think about a time when you tried to control something, perhaps a relationship, a situation at work, or even a personal outcome. You tried everything you could to make it go your way, yet it still slipped through your fingers. Why? Because control is not something we can force. It's a mirage, a fleeting illusion that will never fully fulfill us. When we let go of the need to control, we free ourselves from the weight of unnecessary stress and struggle. The true power of this affirmation lies in the act of releasing. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means accepting that some things are beyond our reach and that it's okay to step back and surrender. By doing so, we open ourselves to peace, clarity, and freedom. Letting go is not about passively watching life unfold, it's about actively choosing to stop fighting against it. Consider the example of the wind and the sail. The wind cannot be controlled, but the sail can be adjusted. We cannot change the circumstances around us, but we can choose how we respond to them. When we let go, we regain the ability to adjust our sails. A beautiful example of this can be found in nature. Imagine you are a tree standing tall in the wind. The storm may blow fiercely, and you may sway, but you don't resist it. Instead, you bend with the wind, adapting to the forces around you. In this way, you remain grounded, unbroken. This is the essence of letting go, accepting what cannot be controlled and adapting to it. One of the areas where we often try to control is in our relationships. Whether it's with family, friends, or romantic partners, we sometimes believe that if we just act in a certain way, we can make others behave the way we want. But relationships are not meant to be controlled, they are meant to be nurtured. Imagine trying to change the way someone thinks or feels. It's exhausting, and it creates tension. The more we try to control someone else's behavior, the more we push them away. Letting go in relationships means giving others the space to be themselves. It means accepting them as they are, without trying to mold them into what we want them to be. In doing so, we not only free them but also free ourselves. By letting go of control, we create healthier, more harmonious relationships. Instead of clinging to expectations, we allow love to flow freely, without the heavy weight of neediness or manipulation. Another key area where we often seek control is within ourselves. We try to control our imperfections, striving for perfection in every aspect of life. Whether it's our appearance, our performance, or our behavior, we believe that we must be flawless to be accepted or happy. But this constant striving creates inner tension. We are human. Imperfection is a part of our experience, not something to be fixed or avoided. Letting go of the need for perfection is liberating. It means embracing who we are right now, flaws and all. It's about accepting that we don't have to have it all together. Life is not about attaining a perfect version of ourselves but about growing, learning, and evolving through our experiences. Perfection is not the goal. Growth is. Consider a situation at work. You've been given a project, and you want everything to go perfectly. You've planned every detail, checked everything repeatedly, and yet, something goes wrong. Perhaps a colleague misses a deadline, or a client asks for changes at the last minute. If you hold on to the need for everything to be perfect, you'll find yourself drowning in frustration. But if you let go of the need to control every aspect, you can adjust and adapt. You can make the changes that are needed, learn from the experience, and move forward with a sense of calm. Letting go allows you to see the situation clearly and respond with wisdom, not stress. At the core of letting go is the acceptance of uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we try to plan, there will always be things beyond our control. But uncertainty is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. When we accept the unknown, we free ourselves from the constant need to control and predict everything. We open ourselves to the flow of life, trusting that it will take us where we need to go. Think about a time when things didn't go as planned. Initially, it may have felt like a disaster. But looking back, you might see that it led you to something even better. The unknown holds hidden opportunities. By letting go of the need for certainty, we create the space for the unexpected to unfold, often in ways we couldn't have imagined. To let go of what you cannot control is to empower yourself. It is not weakness to surrender, it is strength to accept. When you let go, you gain freedom. You stop being bound by the need to control everything, and in doing so, you open yourself to peace, clarity, and flow. Letting go does not mean giving up. It simply means choosing to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. When we stop trying to control everything, we allow life to unfold naturally, trusting that the universe will guide us toward what we need. Start each day by affirming, "I let go of what I cannot control." This reminder will help you release the tension you hold on to and focus on what is within your power. When challenges arise, instead of trying to control them, pause and ask yourself, what can I control here? What can I let go of? As you practice letting go, you'll find that you experience greater peace and freedom. You will stop clinging to outcomes and start embracing life as it is, unpredictable, messy, and beautiful. Letting go of what you cannot control is a powerful step toward reclaiming your peace and your power. You are free when you choose to let go. 4. I am grateful for what I have. The fourth affirmation in our journey of self-discovery and empowerment is a powerful one: I am grateful for what I have. Gratitude is one of the most transformative forces in the human experience. In a world where we are constantly told to want more, to strive for more, and to always be looking ahead, it is easy to forget to appreciate what we already have. Yet, true peace and contentment come not from acquiring more, but from learning to truly appreciate the present moment and all that we have in it. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a practice. It is the act of acknowledging the gifts that already exist in your life, no matter how big or small. Often, we get so caught up in the idea of more that we fail to recognize the beauty of what is already before us. When we practice gratitude, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. And in this simple shift, we open ourselves to a greater sense of joy and fulfillment. Gratitude is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything in life is perfect. It is about recognizing the value in what we already have, despite imperfections or struggles. It's about seeing the good, even when life feels heavy or uncertain. When we cultivate a grateful mindset, we train ourselves to look for the blessings that are often hidden in plain sight. One of the biggest obstacles to gratitude is the belief in scarcity. We live in a world that often makes us feel like there's never enough, not enough time, not enough money, not enough success. This mindset of scarcity keeps us trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction. When we focus on what we don't have, we overlook what is already present in our lives. But when we adopt the mindset of abundance, everything changes. Abundance is not just about wealth or material possessions, it's about the richness of life itself. It's about the relationships we share, the moments of joy we experience, and the simple, everyday blessings that surround us. By embracing abundance, we shift from focusing on what's missing to appreciating what's already here. Take a moment and reflect on the small things in your life that bring you joy. It could be the warmth of a cup of tea in the morning, the smile of a loved one, or the beauty of nature around you. These are the treasures that often go unnoticed because we're too focused on what we don't have. Yet, they are the true sources of happiness. When we open our eyes to the abundance around us, we realize that we have everything we need to be content. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring hardship, it means finding the good within the difficult. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes it feels impossible to see the light through the darkness. But even in the toughest moments, there are opportunities for gratitude. It might be a lesson learned, the support of a friend, or simply the resilience you discover within yourself. Think about a time when you faced a major obstacle. It might have seemed insurmountable at first, but over time, you realized that the challenge brought out strengths you didn't know you had. You may have gained wisdom or resilience that you would not have found without that difficulty. This is the power of gratitude. It allows us to see the gifts hidden within the struggles. Even when life feels like a storm, there is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude is something we must practice, just like any other skill. It doesn't always come naturally, especially when we are used to focusing on what we lack. But when we intentionally choose to cultivate gratitude, we begin to see the world differently. Start each day with a moment of gratitude. Before you even get out of bed, take a few deep breaths and think about 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe it's the comfort of your bed, the health of your body, or the opportunity to learn and grow. When you start your day with gratitude, it sets the tone for everything that follows. You begin to notice the blessings in each moment, and your entire perspective shifts. One of the areas where gratitude can have the most profound impact is in our relationships. How often do we take the people in our lives for granted? We get busy with work, daily tasks, and responsibilities, and forget to appreciate those who are closest to us. When we practice gratitude in our relationships, we not only improve our connection with others, but we also enhance our own well-being. Imagine taking a moment each day to express gratitude to those you love. A simple "thank you" for their support, kindness, or presence can go a long way. Gratitude strengthens the bonds we share with others. It shifts our focus from what's wrong in our relationships to what's right, creating a deeper sense of love, trust, and connection. We often think that we'll be happy once we achieve certain goals or attain specific desires. But the truth is, the key to happiness is not found in the future. It is found right here, in the present moment. When we appreciate what we have now, we find contentment in the here and now, rather than constantly chasing something else. This present moment is all we truly have. When we learn to appreciate it, we realize that life is not about waiting for the next big thing, it's about fully experiencing the now. Whether it's enjoying a meal, taking a walk, or simply sitting in silence, there is beauty in the present moment. Gratitude allows us to savor life as it is, without constantly seeking something more. When we say, "I am grateful for what I have," we are not only acknowledging the good in our lives but also empowering ourselves. Gratitude shifts our mindset from passive waiting to active appreciation. It reminds us that we are already whole and that everything we need for happiness is within reach. This simple affirmation empowers us to take control of our happiness, to realize that we already have everything we need to feel fulfilled. Gratitude is a choice, a mindset, and a way of life. The more we practice it, the more we begin to see the world as abundant and full of possibilities. Make gratitude a daily practice. Each day, take a moment to reflect on the blessings in your life, both big and small. Start with a simple affirmation, "I am grateful for what I have." Let it remind you that no matter where you are in life, there is always something to be thankful for. And as you practice gratitude, you will find that your life becomes richer, fuller, and more peaceful. In the end, gratitude is not about having more, it is about recognizing the beauty of what you already possess. When you embrace this, you will find that contentment and joy are not far off, they are already here, waiting for you to notice. 5. I deserve kindness, especially from myself. The fifth affirmation is one that speaks directly to the heart of self-compassion. I deserve kindness, especially from myself. This statement is simple, but its impact is profound. We often find it easier to show kindness to others than to ourselves. We may forgive a friend for their mistakes, but we are quick to judge and criticize ourselves for every misstep. But here's the truth, you deserve the same kindness, compassion, and understanding that you give to others. In fact, showing kindness to yourself is not only essential for your well-being, but it's also the foundation for healthy relationships and a peaceful mind. Self-compassion is not about excusing poor behavior or letting yourself off the hook for mistakes. It is about treating yourself with the same care, concern, and understanding that you would offer a friend in need. Self-compassion means being gentle with yourself when you fall short, rather than being harsh and critical. It means recognizing that you are human, and that making mistakes is part of the learning and growing process. Think about how you would treat a close friend who is struggling. Would you berate them for their mistakes, or would you offer them comfort and encouragement? You would likely tell them, "It's okay. You're doing your best. Learn from this and move forward." Why, then, do we so often deny ourselves that same compassion? We must remember that we are worthy of the same kindness and understanding that we offer to others. One of the biggest obstacles to self-compassion is self-criticism. Many of us have a habit of speaking to ourselves in ways that we would never speak to another person. We berate ourselves for not being good enough, for making mistakes, or for not living up to our own high expectations. This negative self-talk can become a pattern that keeps us stuck in feelings of inadequacy and frustration. But here's the truth: self-criticism does not motivate us to improve. In fact, it often leads to feelings of shame, guilt, and self-doubt, which only make it harder to move forward. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we create a safe space for growth and improvement. By shifting our inner dialogue to one of encouragement and support, we can break the cycle of self-criticism and replace it with a more empowering, positive mindset. Forgiveness is a powerful act of self-kindness. How often do we replay past mistakes in our minds, constantly punishing ourselves for things we've done or failed to do? We hold on to guilt, regret, and shame, believing that we don't deserve forgiveness. But the truth is that forgiving ourselves is one of the most freeing things we can do. When we forgive ourselves, we release the weight of past mistakes. We stop allowing them to define who we are. Forgiveness allows us to move forward with greater clarity and peace. It doesn't mean we forget or ignore our actions. It means we accept that we are human, that we are capable of growth, and that we are worthy of a fresh start. Consider the example of a person who is learning to ride a bicycle. At first, they may fall many times. They may scrape their knees and feel discouraged, but they don't give up. Instead, they forgive themselves for each fall and keep trying. The ability to forgive yourself and keep going is a powerful act of kindness. Every time you forgive yourself, you are saying, "I am worthy of growth. I am worthy of success." Being kind to yourself goes beyond just forgiving your mistakes. It also means taking the time to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. Kindness to yourself means giving yourself the rest you need, the nourishment you deserve, and the care that supports your well-being. It means saying no when you're overwhelmed, and saying yes when you need support. Think about the last time you took a moment for yourself. Did you give yourself permission to relax, to breathe, to simply be? If not, consider making it a priority. Self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity. When we care for ourselves, we are better equipped to handle life's challenges, to show up for others, and to be the best version of ourselves. One of the biggest barriers to self-compassion is perfectionism. We live in a world that often equates worth with achievement and perfection. We are told that we must be flawless to be valuable. But perfectionism is a trap. It keeps us constantly striving for an impossible standard, leaving us feeling inadequate and frustrated. Letting go of perfectionism is an act of kindness to yourself. It means accepting that you are enough as you are. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. Embrace the beautiful mess that is life, knowing that your worth is not defined by how flawless you appear but by your ability to show up with authenticity, courage, and heart. When you affirm, "I deserve kindness, especially from myself," you are taking a stand for your own well-being. You are choosing to treat yourself with the same love and respect that you would give to a friend. Self-kindness is empowering because it helps you break free from the tyranny of self-criticism and perfectionism. It allows you to embrace your humanity, with all its strengths and flaws, and to move forward with greater confidence and peace. When you are kind to yourself, you create a solid foundation for growth. You give yourself permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to learn along the way. You free yourself from the weight of unrealistic expectations, allowing you to live more fully, with more joy and self-compassion. Start by making self-kindness a daily practice. Each day, speak to yourself with love and understanding. When you make a mistake, remind yourself, "It's okay. I'm doing my best, and I can learn from this. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and show yourself appreciation for the effort you put into each day. By practicing self-kindness, you build a deeper, more loving relationship with yourself. The more you practice this affirmation, the more you will come to realize that you are worthy of kindness, not just from others, but especially from yourself. And as you embrace this kindness, you will begin to feel more at peace, more confident, and more empowered in every area of your life. 6. Difficulties are my greatest teachers. The sixth affirmation in our journey of self-growth and empowerment is one that can truly transform the way we view life. Difficulties are my greatest teachers. It's easy to think of challenges as burdens to avoid or obstacles to overcome. We live in a world that often sees struggles as setbacks. But what if we began to view our difficulties not as problems, but as opportunities for growth? What if every hardship we face is actually a lesson in disguise, a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient? Difficulties are inevitable. No matter how much we plan, no matter how hard we try to control our circumstances, life has a way of throwing challenges our way. These moments of adversity are often the very things that shape us. The pain, the struggles, the obstacles, they all have the power to teach us something valuable, if we are open to learning. Think about a time in your life when things didn't go as planned. Perhaps you faced a major setback, a failure, or a difficult relationship. It may have felt like a heavy burden at the time, but when you look back now, do you see how it changed you? Did it teach you resilience? Patience? Empathy? Maybe it helped you find strength you never knew you had. Or maybe it taught you the importance of letting go, of accepting things as they are. Difficulties are not meant to break us, they are meant to help us grow. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to develop strength, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Strength is not built by living an easy life, it is forged in the fire of difficulty. Think about the process of tempering steel. The metal is heated until it is red hot, then quenched in cold water. The harshness of the process makes the metal stronger and more durable. Similarly, the struggles we endure are what make us stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to handle whatever life throws our way. Resilience is not the absence of difficulty, it is the ability to continue in spite of it. Every time we face adversity and choose to keep going, we are building our resilience. And with each difficulty, we become better equipped for the next one. We learn not to fear the storm, but to weather it with grace and strength. Pain, whether physical or emotional, often feels like something we want to avoid. But pain is also one of the greatest teachers we have. It forces us to slow down, to reflect, and to reassess. Pain has a way of getting our attention. It teaches us where we need to grow, where we need to change, and what we truly value in life. For example, if you've ever experienced a painful loss, you know how it can change your perspective on life. Loss teaches us the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing what we have. It shows us the beauty of impermanence and helps us appreciate every moment. While the pain of loss is undeniable, the lessons we gain from it can last a lifetime. Similarly, failure teaches us humility and perseverance. It teaches us that success is not a straight line, but a series of ups and downs. Failure helps us refine our approach, to learn from our mistakes, and to keep trying, even when the road seems tough. When we view difficulties as teachers, we shift our mindset from one of fear and resistance to one of curiosity and growth. Challenges are no longer something to avoid, they are opportunities to expand and evolve. When faced with a challenge, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What is this teaching me?" This simple shift in perspective can open up a world of wisdom. Think about a time when you faced a difficult decision or an uncomfortable situation. Initially, you may have felt overwhelmed or unsure of how to proceed. But as you navigated the challenge, did you learn something valuable about yourself? Did it teach you patience, determination, or the importance of staying true to your values? Challenges often reveal strengths in us that we didn't know we had. They force us to dig deep, to push past our limits, and to discover what we are truly capable of. One of the most powerful aspects of difficulties as teachers is the perspective they offer. When we are in the midst of a challenge, it can be difficult to see beyond the immediate discomfort. However, with time, we often look back and see how far we've come. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable now feel like stepping stones that led us to greater wisdom, greater strength, and greater understanding. Consider someone who has gone through a significant health challenge. At the time, the experience may have been physically draining and emotionally taxing. But over time, they may look back and realize that the experience taught them more about the fragility of life and the importance of self-care. Through adversity, they learn the value of health, gratitude, and living in the present. Similarly, when you face a personal setback, the pain of the moment may cloud your judgment. But as you heal, you begin to realize that the setback was a lesson in resilience. It showed you that you can rise after a fall, that you can rebuild and move forward. And that lesson stays with you long after the difficulty has passed. Growth through adversity is not always easy. It requires patience, perseverance, and the willingness to face discomfort. But true growth happens when we choose to face our challenges head-on instead of running from them. When we choose to learn from our difficulties, we are not just surviving, we are evolving. Every challenge has something to offer, even if it's not immediately apparent. Every difficulty is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. You may not be able to control when or how challenges come into your life, but you can control how you respond to them. By embracing difficulties as teachers, you take an active role in your own growth and transformation. When you affirm, "Difficulties are my greatest teachers," you are making a conscious decision to embrace the lessons that come with hardship. You are choosing to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth. This mindset empowers you to face the future with confidence, knowing that whatever comes your way, you have the strength to learn, adapt, and grow from it. Each challenge is an invitation to become more. It is a call to discover your inner strength, to deepen your wisdom, and to expand your understanding of yourself and the world around you. And as you continue to face life's difficulties, you will find that you are not just surviving, you are thriving. So, the next time you face a difficulty, remember, it is not here to break you, but to teach you. Embrace the lesson, grow through the experience, and know that you are becoming stronger with each step. 7. My happiness is my responsibility. The seventh and final affirmation in our journey of self-discovery and empowerment is a transformative one: my happiness is my responsibility. This powerful statement serves as a reminder that happiness is not something that happens to us, it is something we create from within. Too often, we fall into the trap of believing that our happiness is dependent on external factors, our circumstances, the people around us, or our achievements. But true happiness is not found in the external world, it is found in how we choose to perceive the world and how we choose to respond to it. Happiness is something that we cultivate inside ourselves. The first step toward embracing this affirmation is to recognize that you are the creator of your own happiness. It is easy to fall into the habit of waiting for happiness to come to us. We may think, "I'll be happy when I get that promotion," or "I'll be happy when I find the perfect partner." But happiness is not a destination, it is a state of mind, a way of being. By taking ownership of your happiness, you empower yourself to create joy, peace, and contentment in your life, regardless of what is happening around you. When you realize that your happiness is your responsibility, you stop waiting for others to make you happy. You stop depending on external circumstances to validate your worth or joy. You begin to see that true happiness comes from within, and that you have the power to choose happiness at any moment. One of the most important aspects of taking responsibility for your happiness is choosing to find joy in the present moment. Too often, we get caught up in the idea that happiness is something that will come later, once we achieve our goals or fulfill certain conditions. But happiness is found in the present moment, not in some distant future. The truth is that we often overlook the small joys that are available to us right now. Whether it's the warmth of the sun on your skin, the laughter of a loved one, or the simple pleasure of a cup of coffee in the morning, these moments hold the potential for happiness. When you take responsibility for your happiness, you make a conscious choice to appreciate the beauty of the present moment, rather than waiting for the perfect circumstances to arrive. Imagine you are going through a tough day. You might feel overwhelmed by work, or frustrated by a situation in your personal life. But even in those moments, you have the choice to find something to be grateful for. You can choose to find a moment of peace, whether it's a quiet walk outside, a phone call with a friend, or simply breathing deeply and appreciating your own resilience. When you choose joy in the present, you align yourself with the reality that happiness is not about perfect circumstances, but about how you choose to engage with life as it is. Another powerful aspect of taking responsibility for your happiness is letting go of the need for external validation. We live in a world that often teaches us that our worth is tied to how others see us. We may rely on praise, recognition, or approval from others to feel good about ourselves. But happiness that is dependent on external validation is fleeting. The moment the approval or praise fades, so does our happiness. When we let go of the need for external validation, we free ourselves from the cycle of seeking happiness outside ourselves. We realize that we don't need others to tell us we're worthy, valuable, or successful. We recognize that our happiness comes from within, from accepting ourselves as we are and being content with our own sense of worth. Take a moment to reflect. How often do you seek validation from others? How often do you tie your happiness to someone else's opinion of you? Now, imagine how freeing it would be to release that need. Imagine how empowering it would feel to no longer depend on others for your happiness. When you take responsibility for your happiness, you become your own source of joy and validation. One of the biggest barriers to taking responsibility for your happiness is the tendency to blame others or external circumstances for our unhappiness. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I would be happy if only this person treated me better, or if I only had more money, I'd be happy. But this mindset keeps us stuck in a place of powerlessness. When we blame others or circumstances for our unhappiness, we are giving away our power. We are letting external factors dictate our state of mind. Taking responsibility for your happiness means releasing the blame game. It means acknowledging that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond to it. Even in the most difficult situations, we have the power to choose our reactions, our attitude, and our outlook on life. When we stop blaming others, we stop giving away our power to change our situation. We begin to realize that our happiness is in our own hands. At the heart of taking responsibility for your happiness is self-love. If we don't love ourselves, it's difficult to experience true happiness. Self-love is the foundation upon which happiness is built. When we love ourselves, we accept ourselves as we are, with all our strengths and weaknesses. We don't need to seek external validation because we already know our worth. We recognize that we deserve happiness, not because of what we do or what we have, but simply because we are human and worthy of love and joy. Self-love also means caring for ourselves, physically, emotionally, and mentally. It means setting healthy boundaries, saying no when we need to, and taking time for rest and rejuvenation. When we prioritize our own well-being, we create the conditions for happiness to flourish. Taking responsibility for your happiness is an ongoing practice. It's not about waiting for happiness to come to you, it's about choosing happiness every single day. Each day, you have the opportunity to make a conscious decision to embrace happiness. You have the power to choose how you respond to life's challenges, and how you engage with the world around you. Start each day with the intention to be happy, regardless of your circumstances. Affirm to yourself, my happiness is my responsibility. I choose to be happy today. This simple decision sets the tone for the rest of your day. As you go about your day, remind yourself that you have the power to choose joy, peace, and contentment at any moment. When you say, my happiness is my responsibility, you are taking control of your life. You are choosing to no longer wait for external circumstances to determine your mood or your sense of fulfillment. You are choosing to take full responsibility for your happiness and to create it from within. By taking responsibility for your happiness, you free yourself from the need for external validation, the blame game, and the belief that happiness is something that happens to you. You realize that happiness is a choice, and that it is within your power to create joy in your life, no matter what is happening around you. So, from today onward, make a conscious choice to take full responsibility for your happiness. Know that it is not something you have to wait for, it is something you can create. When you embrace this truth, you will experience a profound sense of freedom and empowerment, knowing that your happiness is entirely in your hands. Now that you've heard these powerful affirmations, it's time to take control of your life. Remember, happiness is not something that happens to you, it is something you create. Every step you take toward embracing these truths will bring you closer to the peaceful, empowered, and joyful life you deserve. We hope this video inspired you to reflect on your own path and take responsibility for your own happiness. Which affirmation resonated the most with you? Let us know in the comments below. Your thoughts might just inspire someone else on their journey. Don't forget to subscribe to Serenity Path and hit the notification bell so you never miss another powerful lesson on living your best life. Keep moving forward and remember, your happiness is your responsibility. It's all in your hands.